901.
901, ooh, that's pretty close. Okay, we are all here with the exception of Maureen, facility covenant and surgery. We need to look at approving the agenda. Anybody have any comments on the agenda as it stands?
I was going to ask, the autumn house reading, I thought that was going to be included in the future restoration preservation list. That was the intention, because it's talking about restoration and more change of the autumn house. And that would go on the future restoration and preservation project list, so it's not separate.
It wouldn't be separated out.
I think it's, I don't know. I think it's, I wasn't able to review the last meeting. There was an issue with, it did not get recorded, unfortunately. So,
Okay.
yeah. I think it's going to be,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it does need to be on the list. It's not a separate item. It's part of.
Well, and it's not going to be as much, well, I'm wondering, because it's not going to be as much restoration and preservation. I mean, it will have that element, but there's also going to be kind of that's what they're calling it, like a revamp, because there's going to be some kind of, I don't know what you want to call it. Yeah. Not updating, but upgrading. I don't know.
That's regarding the
Something along
cabinets,
those
I think, but
lines.
I'm thinking of floors in particular.
Yeah, there's some restoration elements to it, but there's also just, I think, some kind of like redesign, I guess, of that
Right.
space.
Right.
And there's
So-
on
As it
that
currently
list, on the
stands.
second side
Yeah.
of that list, there is a.
There's elements to it
regular-
on the list. So, like, there are some elements of the restoration of that space on the list. So we can have it be under that. I think
Doesn't make a lot of
it
difference.
kind of has its own
Has its own life.
project a
Is
little
it
bit,
separate?
but, well,
I think because it's a
it is,
specific
it's not,
project,
I don't
right?
know.
Like you already know it's a project, whereas like
We've already talked about it and
Yeah, I guess I wonder, like, so when we do talk about restoration and preservation in October, are we gonna then, like, we know that this is one of the projects that we wanna work on, this table and dining room set, like, are we gonna wanna pull that out and talk about it separately, or are things gonna just stay under this? So I think whatever makes sense,
I
but,
think keeping it consolidated and on the one list is most helpful, because we may not just be dealing with one item on the list,
sure,
for example.
yeah,
it's okay. Either way doesn't it?
And it just helps
Six of one, half dozen of another.
to keep it kind
yeah,
of consolidated.
okay, that's fine.
So let's just.
Anything else?
I had a question, the, like, open house follow-up, should that just be part of items from staff? That's kind of where I was planning.
Yeah,
to
let's
get
do that.
information. Okay,
Right.
perfect. Okay.
Okay, moving on to approval of the.
So I move to approve
Oh.
the agenda.
Oh, yes, I guess we should do that. Call for approval,
Yeah.
motion.
I move.
Moving,
I moved.
and you seconded.
And we're.
Karen moved, you seconded approval of the agenda. You just did that.
What she said.
That's what she said. Okay, approval of the previous month's minutes. Does anybody have any add to the changes that were made?
I actually do.
Okay.
So there was one small correction that I went ahead and made, because it was very minor, so 7B. It said, looking for someone to wax the parquet floors, I think, and clean the carpets,
Uh-huh.
but what actually was the case is that we already had, the upholstery, carpets, and tile are done. So that was one thing, and then the parquet is the only thing that was separate. So it was just a small correction there of moving carpets to the items that at the time were underway, now are
Okay.
done. But,
Yeah.
so just
So that
carpets,
was what number?
7B, items from staff. The first sentence originally said someone to wax the parquet floors and clean the carpets, but the carpets, tile, and upholstery, excuse me, are done.
It's,
So-
yeah.
Just a minor
Just
correction
close.
there. Yeah, so you don't even need to correct it from here. I already corrected it, but I just wanted to let you know what I did.
Okay.
And then one correction that was bigger, so I didn't make it, because I wanted everyone to see, was 5G, talking about the event storage.
Yes, so that is the auto house thing we were talking about.
Yes. Well, and those have kind of become separate. That's why I
Yeah,
separated those
exactly.
out. Yeah. So is here, 5G. So it says Brittany said option 3 was selected as the course of action to move the garden shed to the parking lot against the east fence and expand the structure. That's not correct. That's not what we're doing.
That's right.
So it's, and I haven't made this correction, but the option is to create a new storage shed
Right.
on the back, and I don't want to call that parking lot. So the back,
Concrete
like
area.
Concrete pad area.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Using that as a term.
Concrete pad, yeah.
Concrete
Yeah.
pad.
Yeah, that does make sense because the correction that I had made in the previous ones, and that's under 3A2, was that option 3 does not include installing a concrete pad in the parking area. The shed would be built on the existing concrete right there.
Yeah,
So
we're
a
not
new-
installing
a
a pad, yeah,
new-
just a new.
But a new
Just
shed.
a
will be
storage
built.
shed.
Leaving the
There.
garden shed where it is.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
the garden shed stays where it is. If we need to move it at some point for
Then we-
repointing, then we can.
Yes.
It would go back to
Yeah.
where it is, but a new structure built.
For the storage of the
Yeah.
tables and chairs, yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
So to build a new storage structure on the east concrete slab, whatever.
Okay, that makes sense. That was logical.
And then I had some questions about the process. This was the first month that everybody contributed to the minutes.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize when I was asking for contributions that that was already done.
Oh, yeah,
So how did that go for everyone?
fine for me.
Okay, and did you do like an editable Word document or how?
I don't remember if you guys had changes or not.
I didn't. I looked at everything everybody done and said, yeah, that would make sense to me. But I didn't have any suggestions.
I mean, I took everything that came in, but I think I worked with your edited copy,
Mhm.
went through each one, and
Which
then
was in a track changes.
track changes so I could,
So
you
you
know,
can see anything that was
accept
suggested
or
or declined.
decline, and went through that, and then if there were other edits, I incorporated that into that.
I just sent them to you because I wasn't able to.
Oh,
That
right,
track
I
thing.
made, yes,
Put
I
in there,
made sure that
right.
your changes were in there.
Yes,
That's fine, that worked fine.
Yeah.
That was fine.
I'm
Okay,
with you.
great.
Track change.
Well, I'd like to be included in that round of
Oh, okay.
editing moving forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's true, you should be, absolutely.
Cool. But yeah, if that works well, that's great.
So can I have a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
We approve the minutes with those two amendments.
I second that. All in favor? Anybody else? Anybody not like that idea? Okay. Public invited to be heard, there really isn't anyone here, unfortunately again. Moving on to old business, the digitized scrapbook is still on the agenda.
Yeah.
How are we coming with that?
So the files for the first scrapbook have been compiled. Basically, the city is working on a new website right now, and it's supposed to be out on Monday. So I'm waiting until that whole team they don't have any time for anything extra right now. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting until after that to connect back with Ian and just figure out exactly how we need, because there's been some changes in between when we met however long ago about historic documents and how much is required for ADA accessibility. So we might have a little more leeway, which would be nice. So how much needs to be done in terms of the articles and the text, and how much like alt text and stuff needs to be on there. So once that's done, or once we know what needs to be done,
That's okay, yeah.
then we can, what we'll all want to work on is, however, if the articles need to be typed out or whatever that ends up being, and then the scanning, and then figure out how that works on the website. But it's all, we're kind of ready to just know what we need to move forward with and go from there. So
Brittany, can you
it's still kind of,
please repeat that first part about what Ben was involved in? or whoever you said. was
Ian
involved.
Belter is the person that's helping us with it. He's kind of in charge of the website. Yeah, so the city is putting out a new website platform on Monday. And so once that's done, then I can reconnect with him and see, pertaining to the new website and the new information that we've learned about ADA accessibility for historic documents, what exactly needs to be done with the compiled scan that's ready to go. And then we get on the website. And then I think we talked previously about going through the whole process with one. And then kind of going from there.
Learn all of our
Progress.
lessons going through one, and then
Yeah.
we have a track to follow.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
yeah, so it's not really an update, but
Yeah, kind of.
That's
It
where
says
we're
if there's
at.
any
Yes.
changes to not having to type it every.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
Right.
different than
Isn't
what we did
that the
last,
truth?
so.
Yikes.
So she's just
Yeah.
gonna email her when it's time to say, okay, who would like to
Oh, yeah,
go ahead and.
yeah, no, I'm
start to learn this and
definitely not
participate.
managing all of this myself.
Thank
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I'm just looking
Yeah.
at, okay, when, all I'm trying to put out is just when are we supposed to be doing something?
I think we'll know more next
Or-
week after the website's done, and then
we're just
when
waiting
I
on-
can connect with him and see exactly what needs to happen with this.
So we're just waiting on a
Sorry.
message from you.
More
We're ready to do
information to
something.
follow
Okay.
once you get a chance to talk
Yeah.
to Ian.
Yeah, last month we talked about moving forward with more scans, but I think we should pivot back to our original plan
I
of getting the
agree.
one done and
Yeah.
and going from there.
Yeah.
So we'll
So.
wait to hear from you.
Okay.
And this one, sorry, it's been kind of on the back burner for a while, but
It has, but that's okay.
Yeah.
There's no, it's not on fire.
Yeah.
It's okay. We've got some things that happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how's the have you heard from the video people?
yeah, we've connected. We've gotten some archival images and things over to them, so that'll be really cool. It sounds like we're gonna have a draft that I can share with you all next week, I think.
Wow, really?
Ugh.
So
What's the
Yeah.
draft mean? Is it
like a video
clip?
draft.
A rough
yeah,
draft of the
it's
video.
Like,
Okay,
we still need
We're
like
not looking at,
to add the credit scenes and some colorizing and things like that, but something to
Yeah.
to share. To
Have you seen any of
if
it?
we're in the right direction. I've seen a couple of clips, but yeah, nothing that's like ready to
Ready for
get
public consumption.
feedback and stuff yet. So
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay, that's good news. I figured it'd take them longer than that.
yeah, I kind of thought so too, but
It seems like that everything takes forever.
yeah. Well, and again, it won't be like anything finalized.
Right.
This week,
I
but
get it.
yeah,
No
something to share to provide feedback.
Yeah, making progress. Okay, moving on to club affair. Candy?
Well, let Brittany talk
Okay.
most of the
All
time,
right.
but I'm so excited that we're up to what, 20?
17
What?
official
For sure.
official registrants.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
But I think
Isn't
we'll
that
have. I think
amazing?
we'll probably get to 20 or
Yeah, it just
you know,
blossomed.
So yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
So I'm gonna
Ooh.
throw the
Yeah.
ball to you.
possible.
yeah. So today after this meeting, we have a committee meeting to decide on the map. So I think we should probably go outside and measure spaces, but giving everybody 10 foot of space because some people are bringing tents and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the symphony orchestra is performing. They're doing 2 performances.
Wow.
The dancers are doing 1 performance, and then we have
fabulous.
17 people signed up, and a few more I think on the way.
That's great.
We put out in the recreation constant contact last Thursday, I think, inviting more clubs to join. So we got some kind of unexpected ones from the community, which is great.
That's
There's another press release that went out maybe yesterday or is going out this week, maybe today. So we might get a lot more, but the cutoff is Friday. So if people don't register by Friday, we have to.
Right. Yeah,
It's too late.
We
Don't
try
send
to
the
draw
draw
line.
People over in random places
Yeah,
in the garden at this
right.
point,
Yeah, put you out in that back concrete pad.
but yeah, and with those, with that marketing also, it is inviting the public to be part of it. So I think it should be hopefully a good turnout. We've put out all of the feelers that we can and all of the avenues that we have available to us. So, so really it's just the last things are just to put together the map.
Brittany, thank you so much
Yeah, thank you
for
all.
what you have done
Sure.
to manage the whole thing and to keep track of everything.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the fact that it all went through you and you handled that so well.
Yeah, it was actually a fairly smooth process. So
And this,
you
you
know,
guys did not do
together.
this last year, is that?
No, we
this
haven't
one?
done it for a
No.
number of years.
Okay.
Yeah, that was actually, thank you for asking that, because the question I had was like, is there a set amount of time that is this done every 3 years, or it's just when we feel the need, or I
This
wondered
is
about
just
that moving forward.
randomly started, 2011 was the first one, and then we did,
That was the last one.
that was the last one. Okay, so
Okay.
I think we've
Oh
done
my god.
So-
Have we done it for 10 years?
No. It hasn't been done since 2011.
Right, it just
That's what I'm
started,
saying.
Oh, it's been over a decade.
Yeah, it's been more than 10 years since we've done
Right.
one.
Yes.
it was just dropped.
Oh, okay. So is the idea to
Great.
do one every few years, right? Not necessarily
I don't know.
annually.
I don't know, if
Can we
it,
see
if it
how
it
really
turns
has
out?
caught
I
on
think
this
it's a-
year,
Yeah.
it might be worth
annual.
trying to do it again next year.
Okay.
Just to see what happens. If
Yeah.
there is all of a sudden, wow,
There's
everybody's
interest in-
interested,
Yeah.
you know?
And that's our goal, right? To get people to book here? Or is it a fundraiser?
There's
Kind of
several
how-
goals.
All right, it's
Okay.
multifaceted.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a bit of a fundraiser, but it's a
Mm.
service to community
Yeah, it's
because
a
it's
community outreach
providing
is what it is.
clubs the opportunity to showcase their club to citizens,
Yeah.
to the community,
Clubs within
and
the
then
community.
individuals to find a club that fits them.
And not necessarily a club, but an organization.
Yeah.
Or
Groups,
Yes.
whatever.
they can volunteer, they can be a member, there's all
Yeah.
kinds of options. It's kind of taken its own little,
Yeah, there's been actually a good amount of diversity within the
Right.
groups that are
Wonderful.
represented. Yeah.
and I think there's a lot of people that are looking to connect. There was somebody on Facebook just a couple days ago, and I wanted so badly to reach out, but I didn't because I don't do those kinds of things. But they said they were a housewife and didn't have any friends and wanted to know if there were other people feeling the same way, and they wanted to get together and just kind of form a little group to whatever. Well, there's got to be a lot of people in this community. All the people that have moved into this community, they're not all connected.
No,
They're
yeah.
visiting.
They don't
So,
know what's even available.
yeah, they're looking for things to do.
I've tried to
It's
find
a
people in the neighborhood who were new,
Yeah.
basically, to Longmont or to the area and
I think
get a flyer to them and say.
Along those lines, though, I did wonder if we wanted to have a little table of Callahan House stuff, so that people also understand that part of the point is to, either come to programs here and meet people that way, or do you have a club that didn't make it in here, but you need a space or something like that.
I thought we'd already had that.
Which I think
before,
we
no?
We can see
Are we-
more people.
I thought we were going to have a table for.
Well, if we were close enough to do the partner, is what we had talked about, the partners of the Callahan House.
Right.
So if we're
patron.
close enough
Patrons,
to,
yeah.
patrons, sorry.
Yeah.
If we're close enough to present that concept, then we could just call it our Callahan House table and do what you just
I
said.
don't think we're to a point where we have anything set up. We could let people know that it's coming soon.
Yeah.
I think you should have a table though. Like,
Yeah.
if people are coming to this house, let them know what else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can have
I thought we-
other
We
information,
can have
cards, wedding packets.
We can have the restoration preservation project, the sign from Historic Colorado. We can.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that. I think
Yeah,
We
were
could
gonna-
maybe put that stuff like in here or somewhere. for
Right,
people
that's
to
what I'm just,
you know,
people that
take
come
to the
out, come
house.
into the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
So,
let's do
We
that.
definitely need a clicker to see how many people.
oh yeah,
Attend.
we'll set it up kind of like a house in that way.
Right.
So,
Will we, for
Yeah.
this event, since it's coming up quickly, will we go ahead and close the south gate and just have everyone come through the west gate?
Yeah, I
So
think
that
we'll
clicker
need
can be
to.
happening at the gate rather than at the house.
yeah, and we can
Yeah.
have a sign that says like, please come around, because they'll need to collect attendance that way.
And then one of the things we do need to discuss is where we're going to position ourselves, because we really do need somebody, maybe two somebodies in the house if
Right.
we've got a tour going on.
Yeah,
We have people in here watching the house too, as well as
Right.
attending to whatever needs to
Yeah,
be
we
done
really don't
outside.
need to do as much outside probably as we need to be
yeah,
conscious of what's going on in the house.
yeah. So, yeah, we'll need somebody getting attendance.
Right.
Somebody probably
I'm
in
happy
here
to-
sharing information.
That part.
And
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that they well, maybe just the participants can use the bathroom. But
Oh, I
we're
think,
not
if
gonna
they're-
make it,
If they're touring though.
yeah, I think it'll be open because people will be touring. The house, it'll be like an open house.
they will be
So,
touring.
yeah, I think people can use.
People will be going through the house.
I probably direct people to this restaurant.
No, I
Right,
wasn't sure
yeah,
that there was gonna be touring.
Right.
I thought we were leaving.
Yeah, it's
it
gonna
off.
be like an open house,
Okay.
so people can come see.
I've told
That's how
them
we
the house will
advertise
be
it.
open, just
Yeah.
the way I left it.
And I was thinking about for the refreshments for the participants, maybe we should have those like in the auto house, and then that's like a participant only area, just so that
Yeah, I
people
like
know
that.
that it's
That's a
not.
good idea.
And then they have a separate restroom.
Right, they have a
You know,
separate,
just like another place for them to.
Good idea.
get out of the
access
sun or
separately.
get a bite.
Mhm.
Is anything gonna be done about, the sandwich board signs on the sidewalks?
I tried to borrow another one and I failed. It didn't work.
Do you need a sandwich? Is that what this is?
Well, we don't have anything printed for it. I think hopefully it'll be, I mean, we've got we can put some small signage on the gate here to like let people know what's going on, direct around to the front, and then we've got the chalkboard sign, and we can make a small sign for the front, but hopefully people have seen
If you want something, I bet.
advertising.
See if we can print one over at, you like she prints from her events?
The
If you
big
want,
ones?
like for the sandwich board.
How quickly could she get them? And do
I mean,
they,
I think she just
you-
prints them right over.
you
at-
guys have sandwich boards?
like all of her event stuff. She has one like out front of the rec center right or memorial right now for the
But she can print like the big things on site? Oh, I didn't know that.
That'd be awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
Okay.
would she have
Look at us,
the?
Okay.
They always pop up out of the woodwork, so I'm
Yeah, she.
Yeah. Hiding in a closet
Would she have the
somewhere.
easels or whatever, or just big enough to stand on the round
Yeah.
sandwich board?
Or
Okay.
So there's a
Regular.
visitor to people walking and driving
Right.
And
by.
even if she can't print something, we can. Let's just visit with her.
Okay.
I'm going back to the office after she
Okay.
should be in today.
They
Well,
can zip
sometimes
tie
we're
to
just
the
like,
house.
yeah,
I'd be
It's
able
Yeah.
a printer to be able to print those on
I'd
site.
be able
You
to
can
print.
also do the tiled.
And I could
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
she gets like
Like
rented on
little
Main
ones.
Street
You
and
could,
then
they could,
Yeah, on the next
laminates
scale.
them at
well,
our.
I would have
Oh,
it printed at,
I bet, yeah, because you guys would have to have a massive.
You know,
printer
because
for
I'm
those on
creating
site.
Yeah.
really
Only
big
one thing,
things
so maybe
that
yeah, do a quick tour of
And
it.
the expense of it then would be,
That'd be awesome.
would be
and so.
And in
a
the
bill
future,
that would end
I
up
think,
here,
yeah,
or
I
I'd
think
have to.
You're right. I think
Yeah,
she uses
that's
like
why
bronze
city
printing on Main Street or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Right, right.
But I don't know
The
what
way
your
to make
turnaround
sure
is for like
quick.
one
Okay,
print.
I'm
Might
just
be
gonna
that.
corral this.
Yeah.
It's 3 conversations going on.
Okay.
So, you guys are gonna work on maybe getting some sidewalk, sandwich boards?
Yeah.
Did that.
Whatever she can come up
Am I
with.
gonna be in trouble if I bring some balloons?
No.
I can just
so.
tie helium balloons, I'll tie
Like
them
time
up
to
in
date or
things.
something?
Yeah.
Sure, cool. I mean,
That's a
I'm just
great
trying to make
idea.
it
as long as they don't
festive
go.
and
Yeah.
no,
Fine,
and
yeah, that'll be
people
fine.
won't notice that when they drive by.
That's a great idea.
It's not gonna look like a birthday party, okay?
Yeah.
Just something floating up
Just
there
something
that
that gets your
people
attention.
know there's something
Yeah,
happening.
something's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because the vision I had in my head of the dancers and the music and all that, I mean, that's
Yes.
happening. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really love the idea that it's outdoors,
Yeah.
I do too.
all in one space. It looks like
Yeah.
big
It looks like
participation.
something
And
going
it
on.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Speaking of the dancers, their troop leader whoever is coming by on Friday to see like a space where they want to dance.
Right.
So we want to keep that in mind today when we're thinking about setup. I assume they might just be kind of in the middle of the
Right in the
grass,
middle
but
of
just
the
something to think about when we're talking about
Yeah.
the setup out today.
Okay.
So
And the weather forecast is gonna be good.
It does
Yeah.
look good, yeah, well, I
So-
checked.
Mhm.
You know, it keeps changing, but last time I looked, it looked good.
I mean, it's sunny and clear, basically.
Right, yeah. It's gonna be a nice day.
cool.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else on Club Affair?
Is everybody available for the committee meetings? I guess Maureen's not going to be here, but
So what time are we supposed to be here on Saturday?
I told the vendors that setup is at 9. So
But we need to be here.
8:30, 8:45. I mean, I think 8:30 to 45. I probably won't be here before 8:30, so I plan to just have things ready the day before.
All right.
And will we have,
Is it?
Betsy and,
It sounds like maybe just Betsy. I think
Okay.
Jacqueline got double booked, but
Okay.
I need to confirm with her today. She'll be here later, so.
And snacks in the auto room and the refreshments, were we gonna do that? Were we gonna
I'm
make-
doing it. I'm just gonna go to Sam's Club and get
Oh, okay.
some
Oh,
cookies.
yeah.
We're just doing the cookies and we've got
All right.
coffee and tea and
Okay,
so, yeah.
so I just need a day's advance
We'll
notice.
make it easy, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that sounds easy.
And the club fair begins at 10.
Yeah.
10 to 1.
10 to 1, yeah. So, I
Are
mean,
we
I just
doing
think
a
you
lot,
all,
are we doing an hour of setup or something?
well, that's,
You're
I guess
saying
if
be here about
you,
8:30 then.
yeah, I mean, I would love help
Early.
if everybody's coming at 9 to organize. So 8:45, I
There
mean,
needs to be
yeah,
somebody
I would
here.
just like help with getting people into, since
To their
nobody
spot.
knows the map beforehand,
Right,
like help directing, because if they're all showing up at 9,
right,
help
need to be
directing that,
people here
here's
to,
your area,
make that
and
happen.
everybody can have a map and just kind of direct people to where their setup is and things like that. So 8:45, 8:50, you know, just to be ready by 9
okay,
to greet vendors and help them into their area.
help with setup.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else? Okay, let's move on to patrons program.
So, something the two things that I mentioned last month that we would share this month were the goals and the letter. Now, the goals we had gone through at a committee meeting, and so I do have that. We have not yet, let me go ahead and make sure everybody can get one of these. These are the goals. And this is what we had reviewed and approved in the committee meeting. But the letter, we still need to meet again to do some
Did I
further
send it to
revision. You did,
Okay.
but we haven't had a
Right.
chance to all get together to work
Right.
together on it. So I wanted to make sure we do that. So I'm hoping if we can we set a meeting for doing that anytime on the 27th or after of this month so that the committee can meet again to get further along with that. So 27th is a Tuesday or 28th is Wednesday or 29th is Thursday. Would either any of those days
The
work?
27th is open at the house, the 28th is not. Well, actually, the 28th could work. We just have a club upstairs.
28th of August.
Yeah, or the 27th, 28th,
Yeah, 27th,
29th.
28th,
Yeah, pretty much that week actually is pretty open, so.
What will work for you all?
I could make the 28th
Okay.
if we're talking morning.
Sure.
Yeah, you have
Otherwise-
to be done before 3.
Otherwise, I could do
Yeah.
the afternoon on the 29th.
28th works for me.
Should we go with, is 10 o'clock a preferred time?
That works for me.
So let's go with the 28th at 10 here in the dining room.
Here, yeah, the club
Yeah,
upstairs.
Great, thank you. That will help a bunch get that thing going.
Well, we're making progress.
Yes, we are.
We're just
I
going to
see.
wrap up the letter.
Right.
So yes, the goals, I'd like you all to take a look at that. And you don't have to do it here on the spot, but maybe just between now and the next meeting so that you can see what the committee all said. Yeah, that looks good. So we can talk more about it at the next meeting. Okay. Next committee meeting.
I will email you any comments, Karen.
Okay.
I'm leaving town on the 25th.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
And I might come back.
I might come back.
I hope so. Okay, is that it on the patrons program? Anybody else? Anything?
We'll pick it up again next.
Right, exactly, it'll say on the calendar.
Question, so for next month, just in terms of the packet, will we want, I guess we'll just send you whatever updated
Yes.
materials
Yes.
from the committee meeting? Okay, perfect.
for that.
Sounds good.
You know what
Get
would
this.
be helpful, I know you mentioned, get materials to you by the Monday before the week before, the Monday before the Wednesday, the Thursday.
Right, it's
Wednesday
like
or
10
Thursday.
days in advance.
Would you mind sending just an email out to us and saying, okay, reminder, please get all your materials.
Yeah,
And
I'll send it the Friday before
By-
that Monday.
All the help we can get, we get
that'd be
reminded.
really helpful. Sure, so that it's like, okay,
I
yeah.
can't
So
live without
then,
that anymore. It's just-
then we can submit whatever materials for committees
Sure.
are
Okay.
being lifted to the board, so.
Right.
So,
Just FYI, I'm leaving on the 25th. I won't be back to the 10th or the 11th. So I'm gonna probably miss the next meeting in September.
Okay.
Just FYI.
I'm
I'm going on a cruise. And I
Nice.
never get to
Good.
do myself. Yeah,
Good
going
for
to London
you.
and then British Isles. Yeah. And like I said, I might come back.
very good.
good for you.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna miss that meeting in September too.
Well,
But that's a problem.
We're having that meeting in September.
Then we may
We'll have to
just
schedule a different
We
date.
can schedule a different day.
move it to
No,
a different
But
day.
if we need 4 people, so
Yeah, you
if
gotta
more than one person is gone, we'll have to
Yeah, we don't have a
reschedule.
quorum meeting.
How about,
Okay,
can you?
so we'll need to find a new date.
Yes, I was
for that
gonna
meeting.
say, do we wanna consider a new date now and then put that out?
I think so.
Okay.
I won't be back, excuse me, until the 21st, that weekend.
Of September?
Yeah,
When are you leaving?
the 9th.
What about the week?
So I'm here for 4th.
Yeah, what about the 4th?
I'm gone.
You're gone. Where'd you send? Oh,
But
sorry.
you'll be
What
here.
are your dates that you're
The
gone?
25th of August through about the 11th of September.
And Candy, what are your dates?
9th through the 21st, or
So
22nd.
that takes one or the other of us out.
Yeah.
We could still do it on the 18th if Maureen can come.
Right.
I mean,
But I'll be gone,
but you'd be gone.
which,
One of us will be gone,
somebody's
one of
gonna have to be gone.
Yeah, every now and again somebody's got to be gone.
Yeah.
Unless we wait clear till,
If that's not too late.
I
Where
think
do
that
they end?
earlier,
Because that's gonna be
Better,
after your
because-
art walk event, right?
Right?
right,
Which
Oh,
is
yeah, we should.
the 14th.
Yeah, we should try to have it before Art Walk,
We do need to
so-
have another meeting for.
Yeah. So the
Maybe,
4th, and it also doesn't have to necessarily be Wednesday.
no, I could probably do the 12th or the 13th of September. Candy will be gone, but I'll be back.
That's right before it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you
But if
guys
you do
ought
it the
to,
4th, then
you guys maybe
and
move
you're
it
gone, but
before
you'll
the
still
9th.
be here. Yeah.
Do it that first week in September.
Yeah, I think the first week would be
Yeah,
good.
that's better because you have more leeway.
So we can do, I mean, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the 4th. Actually, the 4th will be tough because we've got clubs all over the house that day.
Okay.
So maybe the 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th.
Is the third okay? That's a Tuesday.
That's fine in terms of house availability.
3rd's better for me.
You're, no,
3rd works for me.
Yeah, because you'll be here, you'll be
you're
here.
here, you're
Yeah.
gone.
I'm gone.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we just need to make sure more.
Just make sure Rachel Rain
Okay.
tell her we're gonna come get her. Or you're gonna come get her.
I would have gone to get her this morning, except I didn't know about it until,
Oh, I didn't know either until I got
she said she was afraid to drive.
Yeah.
Although her husband's back working, so.
Oh, Yeah.
I didn't know about it soon enough to go get her.
And that Monday is a city holiday.
Okay.
So as far as like prep work.
Oh, yeah,
we'll
yeah,
do
yeah.
that
Thank you.
Monday.
Okay.
oh, that's a good point. So
Okay,
is,
so we'll double check with Maureen.
are we gonna
Tuesday
pencil in the
the
3rd?
at
Yeah, do
9
we-
You
a.m.
can always get changed.
Do we have like a 5th or the 6th as a backup date?
I can do it.
Case.
If it has anything.
I play golf on the morning of 5th.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, then is the sixth an option? Did you say it's an option?
It's an option.
It is at like 11
Is that
or like 10:30,
Is it 10:30 on the 6th, okay with you?
just as like a backup
It
option.
Because
works, not my favorite.
But
day,
as a plan
but it
B,
could work.
okay.
So plan A is the third.
Tuesday the 3rd.
I'm not a fan of
So
that.
9/6 would be at 10:30. This plan B, or September 3rd at 9, the regular time.
Okay.
That's plan A.
All right.
Okay.
Plan B is,
So I'll check with Maureen.
9/6 at
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
where am I going when?
Oh,
here.
September the 9th.
We're doing a road trip, road trip,
Oh, road trip. Nice.
road trip there.
Oh, great. Can you record that? Great. Okay. I think we took a little detour
Just a
there,
little
but
sidebar.
yeah, a little sidebar, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so we're on item E, Cindy. Tables and chair storage.
No update, we need a contractor. It's gone a little bit back burner, but
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
where we're at.
Once again, that's not on fire. So.
Yeah, the contractor that we hope to use that was used elsewhere in the city, I guess, is not a good option, so.
Oh, okay.
Did she give you anyone else that they were?
Okay.
So that's on
I can
hold.
reach back out to Ben to see if he has any input.
Okay.
That's a good plan. You could do that. Thanks, Kristen. Okay, moving on to the past and present board fall tea.
So about that, we piggyback off of the August 28th, 10 a.m. committee meeting and have a committee meeting about that because the tea at this point, I think kind of brings our lead on the food, and so I think we need to have.
Yes, she needs to be
we
part of
need
that
to-
conversation.
Yeah, have everybody involved in that, she needs to be part of that. But then that's also the time when any of the other little details we can discuss, and it's plenty of time in advance.
Yeah, we've got some time.
But I'd like it to be done sooner rather than later, so.
Yeah.
Is that
So
possible?
she needs to come to that one, the meeting you guys are having.
On the 20th.
Yeah, August
So
28th.
August 28th, so just
At
after
at
like
10
11.
a.m. So yeah, we'd do a patrons program at 10 a.m. and then after, you know, I'd say 11 or 11:30, however much time we need for patrons program. But finish up by noon, basically, have a 2-hour window between 10 and noon on August 28th to get those two meetings.
I had a question about the invite. Did the committee work together to put that language together?
Mhm.
Okay.
We did.
Do you have more?
Do you need more? Do you
Well, no, it feels awkward to say, but I was a little disappointed by it just kind of stated that here's all of the projects that the board has accomplished this year. And I was a little disappointed by,
It's
Yeah.
basically the same. That's what we've done. But then we elaborate on it at the
Yeah.
time.
okay,
It's gonna
So for branding, acknowledgement of the city communications,
okay.
for each of those, it's a matter of showing.
Yeah, there was a
hey,
lot of people
here's
involved
who-
in all of
yes,
the projects.
here's who all
so-
were
okay.
part of this. Here's who all contributed to that.
Okay.
Here's what.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good, yeah.
yeah. Karen kind of.
Well, it's just awkward to say that felt disappointing, but
Yeah.
so I just want to make sure that,
You
you
wanted
know,
to be
like
more
Rachel did all of the branding and, you know, to make
Yes.
sure that like.
Yes.
Right.
And so if you wouldn't mind, would you go ahead and send us an email and just say specifically who you want acknowledged for what?
Yeah, that'd be very
That
helpful.
would be really helpful.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
It'd be fun to have Rachel come to the tea.
It would be.
Well, I was thinking about that. I don't know if like, just thinking what
I mean,
all
it's
is
not
on
that
the
big a deal.
list, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Depending on how. I mean, if we
It's
did.
perfectly fine. I think
Not everybody shows
Why
up every
not?
year.
Okay.
she was
The more the
very
merrier.
involved, and I
Right.
think that that's appropriate.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree. Really enjoyed that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So that meeting will get on the 28th as well.
Yes.
All right.
Get both of those.
Okay, so we can carry on then to Art Walk. Yay! You did.
I saw.
I didn't see it until
look
you
at
said
all of
something.
this.
And I printed it
Oh, you did.
because
Okay.
I thought, boy, this is a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
But I also wanted everyone to have an easy access to the links of the artists. So these are the 5 artists that I invited that are coming. I do want to ask that the jewelry be in the house.
Okay.
She does have a preference that she be in the house.
And they're
I
all
would think.
confirmed for sure. They
Yes.
can all make it.
They can all make it, and
Oh my
so they are
goodness.
looking forward.
Just
So
going
yes, we've
to
got woodwork,
Jennifer.
photography,
Well, Jean
painting
Bond's
and
wife,
prints,
Ginger.
jewelry.
She's
and
a
painting.
Like the artist.
I have a
She's
whole
gonna be in
handful.
Loveland something or other.
So you got their name and what they do,
Yeah.
their medium, and their email.
That's okay.
But I've got a whole
She's not on
handful
here. She
of
can't.
other artists who would love to be contacted for next year.
Okay.
I was super excited about them. I'm sad that they weren't available. One, for example, is a sun catcher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, another was like this pork art kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
And I've got whole that whole other group of artists that they get all these wonderful different mediums. I was like,
If you can send me that list, because it would be good to have something compiled with
Yes.
all of the contacts
Yes.
who's been, because it's been
Yes.
a little
well, you now
little sheets
have
of paper and a little chaotic. So I think moving
okay.
forward to have some like a digital
Digital
file
yeah.
for pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maureen asked me if,
Yeah. September 14th. Sorry.
Maureen asked me if the artist that's going to be here for Club Affair, the sculptor, would be interested in being in it, and I said I'd rather not ask her. When we were a few weeks back, I said I'd rather not ask her yet. I was kind of get this happening, but I can ask her,
Yeah.
or we can ask her the day of.
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely. I think it's.
Bring it up
Open
on
to-
Saturday when we see
I
it.
think we could potentially fit a lot of people, even if we
Yeah.
end up having a kind of
Yeah.
their space.
Because we've had
so
as few
I
as,
don't-
4 or 5.
Yeah,
I mean, that typically, that's what we would do.
yeah.
in the
I've
house.
got a handful already, maybe 7 or 8, I think.
Because
confirmed.
Maureen had a number of them already put together.
Yeah, I never saw
You were
whatever
impressed.
list.
I didn't either.
And,
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
seen her list either. I made a place for both of us to compile stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I've never seen any lists, and so I don't.
I sent her a name just last week of a lady that does paper art,
Nice.
paper
Coffee refill, anybody?
paper cuts
Yeah, we have
press.
7.
Yes, please.
You have 7 that are
7.
confirmed on the list that you have,
Yeah,
plus the 5 that are confirmed on.
Yeah.
Just
so that's already
good.
good. Yeah.
Now,
That's
are you okay?
No, that's
with
not
your
good.
Yeah.
I need more.
A few of the other artists that I asked that I hadn't.
That's the thing.
Would like to accept.
Well, yeah, I think
And I'll
it's
send them
Yeah, sure.
And
I
it's
think
hot.
same kind of thing. I think
Because I
that we
didn't
have
close
it
the door.
confirmed by the week before or something.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
yeah.
Because I'm hoping for 3 others, but I'm not waiting.
Yeah, I think we can.
So are you doing the contacting now rather than Maureen?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Just the people
Remember,
emails.
Brittany asked us to
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
But I
And I
didn't
just
know
did
if,
that.
great.
I
That's,
didn't
thank
know
you.
if
And I
Maureen
got
was not
these.
up to doing this or what, because I haven't heard anything as far as whether she contacted this person I sent.
I don't know.
So I don't know whether I
Who's the person
should
Well, I don't know.
contact or send it on to somebody or
you know? What's
just.
their name?
Her name is Kristen Lewis,
Okay.
and her business is called Paper Cuts Press. I have her info here.
And you have contacted her or you haven't?
I have not. I contacted another friend
She
about
gave it to Maureen.
dancing. About the ballet, I contacted Angela Rios Barbe about it.
Yeah.
And then she referred this lady as far as an artist.
Well, I think if anybody that you can contact, if you can go ahead and do that and see if they're interested.
Okay.
And then same kind of thing as Club Fair, and then if they
Right.
want to move
Interested.
forward with, yeah, because I
Then
sent a
send the
letter out to
send the
everybody, do you
contact.
still have?
Yeah.
Yes.
Send
Or
her
what
to
letter?
like.
Yeah, so I would send that to anybody that you think might be
Okay.
interested,
Okay.
and then whoever you get that can confirm, then
Okay,
send
I'll
them
check with
Yeah.
the
Maureen
first
and I
and see if
will-
she reach out.
put them on
Yeah.
the list.
Do these vendors sell stuff here, or is this just to walk around and observe?
They sell.
Yeah, some
Okay.
of them, I guess there's been one or two that are wanting to just display, but that's fine. But typically the idea is to sell their
So do
artwork.
they usually use like a Squarespace? app
Yeah,
or
it's
something?
up to
Okay.
them if they want to just like take Venmo or cash or however.
Okay.
We'll provide them with the like tax sheet that Sam sent me, but it's also up to them if they want to record their taxes or not.
We don't
Staying out of that.
Yeah, the vending aspect is all
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not.
up to them. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, remind me of the time on our walk on
4 to 8 is the actual event, and that is the same as the
the whole
main
thing.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So yeah, if I get any more, then I will do the same thing between one of them and just send the emailing everyone like you had requested in your initial email.
What is the email?
This is, so you have it, it's like on the bottom of that page is the email from Brittany on the bottom of that page. Bottom.
well, that's
Brittany?
just the body of the email.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the
That's just-
attachment, which is the letter.
Yeah, it doesn't
but-
include the attachment, but
Yeah.
it does, that is Brittany's email to all of us about what to do and to use the letter and call. And
But
then
there's
to go
an
on email
attachment in the email that's
Yeah.
the letter.
Yeah, I just saw it yesterday or something.
and to go.
Now, if I can find it again.
Right.
Be good.
That's
So
right.
there is an email
July 10th.
invite to artists.
That
Well,
doesn't
there's
mean
a
anything.
letter that I sent that I recommended using as an invite.
Brittany
Okay.
sent us all on July 10th, this
Right.
email. It includes an attached letter that she had drafted that we are supposed to
Okay.
follow instructions and
Follow instructions.
Okay, it's coming back to me now. Okay.
so anyway.
Yeah, so if you know anybody, and I mean, I think we will take whoever is interested. I mean, we can, there's plenty of space. So,
Right.
yeah.
Good, because the three more that I was kind of waiting on will accept. They will
Yeah,
be great.
I think there's
Oh,
plenty of room.
Know
So,
that many
because I mean, we're having
artists.
17
I
people,
still love artists.
maybe 20
We're in
for
wrong circles.
club affair, plus we can fit 7 or so in the house, and I think there's plenty of room. So we might as well get whoever we can.
Please do, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you've got a note, please just make note that, yeah, the jewelry lady would like to be in
Yeah.
the house.
Right, that makes perfectly good
The
sense.
others are excited about the garden.
Cool. Okay. Do they want garden specifically, or they're open to wherever?
They're open to wherever, but they were happy about the garden.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
And they all understand about the tent thing, that, I mean, they got
Yeah.
all of your.
They all live in Colorado, yeah.
Okay.
So, great, so they know. So, yeah.
Okay, yay.
One other last thing about our walk. So, that date, while I originally was planning to be available for the entire time, I'm no longer available for the entire time. I'm going to the CSUCU game.
Oh.
So,
You brat.
it's at CSU.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
So I've got to go.
Oh, I'd love to, yeah.
So we're going to that. So
Darn
I
it.
will be available for the whole time. I'll have to come a little early for setup or whatever.
Oh, 'cause it's a late
With
night
that.
game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're really short
And
board members for
I
that
wanted to tell you.
art block.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah, 'cause
on
you're gonna be
that.
You're both gonna be gone.
But you'll be back.
I'll be here.
Okay.
I might be walking a zombie, but I'll be here.
Maureen won't be here. That's
Oh,
somebody's
that's
wedding.
right.
Their
Okay.
family
Uh-oh.
member.
All right. So we'll
Do
have
me.
September what?
14th,
sort of 2.5
Saturday.
board members.
Yes.
2.5 board members.
So we need more staff.
Yeah. I mean, it's open for everybody to sign up. It depends on who
Yeah.
all can.
I'll be
but-
there, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Okay.
I wonder if you wanna call on past board members to help volunteer.
Yeah. I just
Um,
saw Anne yesterday. I'm sure she'd be glad to do it.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see what staff we can get.
I wanted to be here, and same with Lauren, and we both had weddings that day. Because I sent her an email that I want to talk about this event with her, just given all the cool people that are coming in, but she's
Yeah.
out of town in California.
Okay.
Oh, that, yeah.
My
So
friend is
fun.
also getting married.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a busy day.
That is a very good day.
Well, it kind of, it runs itself once we.
Right, it does.
Right.
Once we get everybody up
Set
and
up
going,
and all
yeah.
as
Yeah,
well.
I think we'll
We're
probably
just
be
kind
okay.
of
Let me
here
see
to
what staff
manage
we
the
can get.
house. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, Anne is a good idea. I think I mentioned her, because she called about the garden a few weeks ago, and I mentioned it, but we hope to see her at Art Walk, so.
Yeah.
Connie is one of your two, Connie Newman.
Yeah, Connie would be
Connie,
fabulous
yeah.
if she's around. Yeah, I'd love to see her do that.
Leona Lowry. She might be a good one.
Okay. Let's see, I'll see about what staff we have, and that's what we have.
Okay, very perfect. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, appreciate it. Okay, is that everybody's comments on Art Walk? Are we fleshed out pretty good on that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the piano. I don't remember why it's on here.
Because we asked for it to be put back on until it was all completely done. And
Oh,
here it is,
and it's
so
all completely done.
And it was being played the other night.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been,
yes.
it's had
Did
some
you get to
very
hear
excited people
this?
playing it
This lady came and played this
at the open house.
at the open house.
Yeah. I did have a question, and I know Maureen maybe had some people, but she's good. Yeah,
She's got a
good having people
PhD.
play.
She's got a PhD in piano.
Oh my gosh.
Then she
Like,
had,
she said, "Can I play that?" I said, "Sure."
Yeah.
Open it right up, set her up.
Yeah, people should play it. Yes.
So people who are here got a concert.
Yeah.
It was fabulous.
And she's the one that upstairs asked if she could have recitals for her students.
Yeah.
Did she ever?
And that was my question, because there were a couple people that night that were interested in doing, a performance
Things,
in-house,
yeah.
and so I gave them my contact information. I haven't
Right.
heard from anybody yet. But if anybody has contacts that might want to do, we're thinking it might be fun like this winter or fall winter to do like a happy hour style concert, piano performance with maybe 25 tickets.
Right.
And just serve like wine and cheese or something.
That's-
So just like a
that would be
small
very
intimate
nice.
opportunity,
That's
but
wonderful.
to here's our new old
Yeah,
piano.
Here's the
and-
venue. That
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
like
and
that.
we're excited to showcase the new
Yeah.
piece that has made its way to Callahan House and blah blah blah. So if anybody, we put out some feelers, but haven't gotten anything back yet. But if you know anybody that plays piano that would be interested,
Okay.
or like a piano, I don't know, harpist, I have no
Right.
idea, but
That'd be wonderful.
whatever.
Can your daughter
So-
come back from school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back and play the harp for
Yeah.
us, sweetie. I know you have important education.
Yeah,
But you
yeah,
can just
yeah.
put that aside for a little.
Yeah, just for a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have had people, multiple people express interest, but then haven't followed up. So if you know anybody,
Okay.
cool.
Can I ask one thing? Will you please provide, you can send it to all of us, we all have it, but so that I have it for the scrapbook, whatever history we have about the piano. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah, I'll have to reach out to Barb. I know that it was in their family for 50 years. So,
Yeah,
and
that's
I did
great.
get a shot of Fred with it when he
Oh,
dropped
great.
it
That
off.
would be good.
So yeah,
Who's Barb? The
the seller that we got it
Oh.
from.
So
So
you
yeah,
say it as if you knew her.
I just from
Only-
all of the communications.
Yeah. Talked to her often enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also figured that we should extend her a free invite to one
yeah.
of the concerts or whatever.
Absolutely.
So
Totally. 1895, right?
yeah, 1895. And maybe you all knew this. I didn't know, but it's pronounced Kanabi.
Oh, I did not know.
Yeah.
So,
I found that out the hard way.
The hard way.
yeah.
You said it wrong. You got
Well, I was
corrected.
on the phone with Fred's wife, and I was communicating about the delivery, and I was like, I'm just checking in about the 1895 NABE, and she's like, the Knabi? I was like, yes.
That
Everybody
Brittany.
does that.
Kanabi.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's Knabi.
So if you could put something in writing and include even that pronounced,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all of that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd really be nice. Great.
Cool.
Perfect. Okay, we're moving on to club selection criteria.
Yeah.
It looks like Brittany's on again.
Yeah, it came back from legal, so this is the final and formatted with the city text and Callahan logos and all of that stuff. So there weren't really any changes to it. I think it was mostly just formatting. There was one question or a couple of questions that got kind of
But
combined
it's
into
in the packet, but
one
I always just leave it.
thing, but yeah.
Can you
Because
tell
I
us what?
scribble all over things.
I should have included the original, but basically there weren't.
Helpful to know, yeah, what.
Yeah, I mean, you have access to the original one, so if you wanna go kind of make comparisons, but
Yeah.
content-wise, nothing was changed from what we talked about at the last meeting. So, yeah, I just kind of formatted it to get everything on one page and Leo was good to go with it, so.
Great. Yay. That's what's important. That's what counts.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is basically a done deal, right?
Yeah.
This
think
goes
so.
off of the
Unless
whole
anybody
business and on
has
the, it's done.
questions.
Okay.
So I guess, and then,
Can you,
Was it in the last? I feel like it was in the last packet. Your
yeah,
original.
it's, everybody's got it somewhere. So if you wanna go, yeah, you're welcome to reach out with questions. But no content was changed, so.
Would this be
Yeah.
included with materials when we're showing stuff at Club?
Yeah, well, that was my
Yes.
question, I guess, is
Yeah.
how you want to,
Implement it.
yeah.
I think
This
having-
won't be.
No,
This is just us.
yes.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
talking about
having
the
just the
application.
club
Yeah, the
application for use of Callahan House, this one page,
Right.
is, if we could have that available
That'd be
for
really
club fair,
nice.
that would be helpful.
And also, well, I'm thinking about it, a list of email signups like we have for open houses, to have that available for the club fair.
Yeah, it would be the same as like a regular open house in that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Donations are
Do you want
enrolled
a
and
list,
stuff.
do you want to prepare a blank list for anyone who's interested in clubs? I mean, they can have this, but then if they say, yeah, have Brittany contact me, do you want to prepare a blank list that's available at the
Well, actually, what would be good, now that you
Things.
mention that, is just having
Right,
they
have
can
to fill
fill in
that out.
contact information on this.
At least basic
If-
information.
If they
Yeah.
would, if they
Yeah.
would,
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, because I
awesome.
mean, they can even take this with them and,
well, that's the thing, though, if they want to take it with them, great, but if they want to say, here's my information, have Brittany contact me.
we'll just put out cards.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well, what if they want to give their information, what if they want to say, here's my name and here's my email, here's,
Sure, I mean, they
I
can
mean, it's
stick
one
a
thing
card
to
and
give-
send an email, but.
okay.
I think
Yeah.
if you have too many signups, that's confusing.
Right.
If you've got your
Yeah,
email
that's
sign
true.
up and then club
Yeah,
interest
that's
sign up,
Yeah.
you might get wires crossed on people signing up for the wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Is
Instead of
this
just like
ever
taking.
gonna be made online?
Yeah, that's supposed to be, that's the point of it being available online.
I think it can be. Same, I'm just trying to think how that would work, but yeah, I mean, we can make it work
Just
somehow.
make a Microsoft Forms.
Yeah.
If it was made in time for Club Fair, you just put the QR code on here.
That would be
Helpful
helpful to get a
too.
QR code necessarily, but maybe we could provide a link.
Okay, because it would be in a different spot than other things related to club,
The only problem is
Yeah.
with the website hosting, like I can't add this to the web, would it go through forms? It'd be a form on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not gonna be available by this weekend
Okay.
because of the website being overhauled
Yeah.
right now, there's no
Right.
changes.
I think
Oh,
the
right.
application with your card stapled to it or paper clipped, and if they want to take that, if they don't have time to
Yeah,
fill it out
that's
here,
enough.
I think that's really
yeah,
I
that's
agree.
good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so we're done with old business. Is there any other old business?
I have one quick question though about before we go on.
Okay.
So since we did this club application and we did, after having added the few clubs that joined, can we get this information from those few new clubs that joined so that we had it? Because we had it on the prior clubs, but we don't have it on the most recent few clubs that have joined.
Yeah, I think we can, I'm not gonna send them this, because
No.
some of it's just not gonna be applicable, but
Right.
in the fall letter, if any of this doesn't end up, you
That's-
know,
The fall letter is a satisfaction survey, it's different from the content
Well,
that's being requested.
I was gonna say, with that, we can request the information that we don't have from those clubs.
Yeah, that at least piggybacks on what you're already doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's still connected.
we can ask for any of this information that we don't already have at that time. Because some of it, I mean, we don't.
Yeah, just
Some of it's
indicate that
redundant.
this is our new form and we'd love to have this kind of same kind of information from our current.
Yeah.
Club. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think if we're asking them for stuff now and then we're asking them again for stuff in October, it's
Right. That's,
Okay, great.
a lot. So
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Most of them are like, just don't want to deal with it.
As
Yeah.
long as we're getting this, that would be great. As we're
Okay,
in the fall letters.
okay, we're gonna move on to new business. The website and Wikipedia updates.
That was something that we brought up at the last meeting, so I just wanted to throw it out there. At one point, we talked about that you were going through the website to see about accuracy and updates and whatnot, so, yeah.
Are you, since they're doing some sort of update, does that change the content that they're putting in there?
No, it'll be whatever's in there now will get
Oh.
transferred over, and then once it's done, then we can make changes. At this
We
point,
can
there's
take
no,
a look at it.
right
yeah.
now, there's no changes being made to the website, but, do you still want to kind of head
Yeah.
that? Okay.
So when
Yeah.
do you, I need to know when you need that content?
Whenever it works for you.
You want to look at it after it's new, though. Like how? Because I don't. I
Probably.
have no idea
Especially
how
if there's
it's
something
transferring
changing.
into the new
Yeah,
web base. So
from my understanding, it should be the same, but
It
yeah,
makes sense.
so Monday is when it launches. So after Monday, if you want to take a look at the website and then just send me any corrections basically, and I can make them, and there's no
or even if
you know,
something's
set
missing,
This
for
is
that,
content that's
that's a
on-
lot to transfer. So
Content that's on current website would be transferred over to the new website.
Correct.
yeah, whatever's there
Yeah.
now should be the same, but so
Yeah,
I think
change
you
it.
probably look at it now, but if you want to wait till Monday when the new launches, then yeah, and you can just
Let's see what's there
send
and
me whatever corrections, yeah, and then we can make them.
Okay.
And if you're interested in doing the same thing with the Wikipedia page, or I can, take what comes from the website and kind of just transfer that over even. Wikipedia is different in how it functions, it has to be like approved changes and cited sources and things like that, but,
right, that makes sense.
yeah. I don't know if
It
citing
being
the website
Wikipedia.
is a legitimate source or not, but I'm not sure.
And the website that's
You would
being
say,
transferred over, is it the whole city website or just?
Yeah, the whole city website. Yeah, they're like going to a new, more user-friendly platform, which will be good, but.
would you mind sending me the link to the Wikipedia that you're specifically pulling up? I know that sounds really elementary, but
Sure.
that way I make sure I'm checking what you're seeing.
Sure.
That makes sense. Okay, we're on to item 7, items from the staff. Anything from you guys?
Yeah, do you have anything? Okay. So July open house follow-up numbers.
Oh, yeah.
We saw 150 people, which was great. And then we've been breaking down the hourly attendance just to kind of see how that goes. So 78 in the first hour, 56 in the second hour, and 16 in the third hour. And I actually didn't have this before, but I started compiling a sheet that it's just from 2023 and 2024 at this point, but comparing the open houses throughout the years. And last year we actually only did them for 2 hours. So I don't know for next year if we want to think about dropping that third hour, because it's been slow, historically very low attendance
It
that
does
last
look
hour.
It's noticeable.
So, yeah, and just kind of comparing attendance from, we'll continue this on, right now it's just 23, 24, but I think that was helpful insight and what times we did and whatnot, so we can see what works well. So there are $117 in donations, which is great. We got 46
How many?
I'm sorry, $117
Okay.
in cash donations. 46 new email signups, which was a record, but
Wow.
in actuality, when I put them into the existing contact list, about 20 of them were
We're already there.
already in there, or yeah. So
They just didn't want to get left out.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know if
That's
when
funny.
people are filling that out, if we want to, if I know you're telling people a lot of things and you're trying to collect numbers and whoever's sitting there, but make sure that people know that it's like to sign up for it says it right on there, but
Instead of,
people
like,
don't
an
necessarily
attendance.
read it.
They don't.
Yeah, it's
usually
not like a
don't read it.
sign-in sheet. It's
Yeah,
a
right.
sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already sheet.
Right.
If you have time to talk to people about that. We didn't have any merch sales at this one, but let's not, so yeah, and then we also knew for this open house started collecting some questions from people. So these are the sheets that I got turned in, and I guess I wondered how we wanted to answer these or record them, or if we want to wait until we have more, or just like or just share them, and if, I don't know how you wanted to go about answering some questions or.
What if we make that part of one of our blasts at a time of year when there's not a million things going on?
Mhm.
And that we just, like in the winter, in the middle of winter, like Johnny St. Brain kind of
Right.
thing.
Focus on
Yeah,
those.
well, I guess I wondered about as a
Answer-
group, like
answer
how do we,
answer, how are we
you
putting
know,
it together to answer questions, so
yeah,
that's. how
like
people
should I just email them to you after the open houses, or should we talk
think-
about them?
I think having an email of all of the questions from you after the open house to all of us, and then we can either set a time to get together to go through them, or if people say, hey, I can look into that to answer that, or I mean, it gives everyone the opportunity to participate.
Yeah, if
Whatever
anybody
level
knows.
they want to, in
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah, I think it's
Finding
important
the
we all
answer.
know what the questions were. And
Yeah.
like I had no idea about the Sweeney name, and you answered that question that night.
Right.
That
There wasn't
the Sweeney names are spelled differently. So the mayor wasn't related to the man who first built this house.
So,
And where did they go to church? Well,
Yeah.
none of us knew that.
Could be a good way
So we
too
could
to
probably
like
find
look
out.
into, information that we don't know. So maybe if people, I can send out the email, if people can answer whatever questions they can answer, or I know I've seen that somewhere, let me look for it.
I'll look into that.
And then maybe ones that we don't know, if people can take those on and
Yeah.
do some digging.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can do that moving forward, and I'll send these out in an email
All right.
this week, and we can kind of start that process. I guess that was it. Well, we've had some other stuff, but I think it's just under other areas, so. Yeah.
I have a question about the mystery dinner. Have you had anybody sign
Yeah.
up for it yet?
Yeah, we've had 5 registrations
Wow.
so far.
And it came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There's 44 total spots, and
Oh,
we
okay.
need at least like 24 people to run it.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Did Lauren do prime seating?
I don't think so. I think it's only been the like regular seating so
Yeah.
far. So
You might have all regular seating.
Yeah, that's
well,
okay.
and then I kind of figured that could happen at the end. And it's only prime seating left. I guess that's
Right.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
signed up so far?
5.
So I would appreciate you letting us know if there's still spaces at some point in time that, you're wanting to fill it up.
Oh, okay.
So we can
Yeah.
drag our neighbors and friends.
Yeah,
in.
if we-
Well, if you definitely want to come, I would say sign up
Well,
sooner
yeah, I
than later,
figured
because
that.
it just went,
Just
open
went in,
yesterday and
yeah.
we sold 5 tickets. But, if I'm needing to like talk people into buying tickets, I'll like.
Right.
It
Okay.
sure would be
It's a
nice to
Friday
get
night,
some
October
really
18th.
good photos
Yeah.
Yeah,
when that's happening,
yeah,
because everybody's gonna be dressed up and,
Right. It'll be fun.
yeah.
well,
Yeah, I think that's cool.
unless you get some professional, I'd be happy to take photos.
That'd be great. Yeah, that would be excellent. If you don't
What's the
mind.
date again?
It's October 18th, a Friday night from 6:30 to 10-ish. So, yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully people will dress up and
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
so. Yeah.
Okay. So are we still on?
I'm for staff.
I'm
You're
that's
done?
all I got.
And
Yeah,
Kristen's got nothing. Okay, we are now on items from the board, Karen.
So
Anything?
so the reserved parking sign out front that had graffiti on it.
Correct.
Well, I did share that with Brittany, and she shared the link to
Who to talk to.
submit to the city graffiti. So I did that,
Okay.
and they've since come and cleaned that up.
Yep.
So and it was
System
done
works pretty well.
before the open house, which was really good.
We usually get to those in like 48 hours or so.
It's
like a helmet.
You know what?
It's called Service Works.
I'm just gonna forward, I'm gonna forward your email to the whole board. So that everybody has
Yeah,
the
I
same.
saw it.
Sure.
Yeah,
or
you
if
saw
you
it.
Google like
You were on
Longmont
it,
Service
Maureen was on
Works.
it because we had seen it and we were like, oh,
That's not okay.
that's not good.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
So, and this is like for all, citywide, like for citizens, for employees, whatever. So, just as an FYI, if you have like issue, I've used it for stuff in our neighborhood and things like that too. So it's like if there's graffiti or like a dead animal or abandoned item or anything. Yeah.
Very good to know.
And they usually get to stuff within like
right here.
48 hours ish. It depends on
That's
what
really
it
good
is.
response.
Shared that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it can be like on public property, on private property.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really good system. I mean, that's what I like. We've had other graffiti here on the grounds that I've used for that. I've used, that. It's the same network, whether you're like a citizen or an employee. So,
Nice.
yeah. So it's just called Service Works. It's on the Longmont website. But yeah, so thanks to the city for coming through that.
Yeah.
Yes.
They do a lot of that.
I bet. I bet.
Just, and I'm not just necessarily graffiti, but just
Stuff.
I think it's like the operations team. I think so, yeah. Does it? So,
But depending on what it is.
what it is, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Depends on what it is. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. We're moving on to items from the board. We're still there.
Yeah, still on items on the board. Do we have, when will we receive the budget? Because we did request.
Yes, thank you, because I meant, to follow up about that. I need to make a note about it. So we talked to Sandra Cifuentes, who's helped us with understanding the Callahan House Fund kind of throughout the last year and whatnot. So got some clarity about what we talked about at the last meeting or the meeting before that, about the Callahan budget in general, the house fund, and how that works. So basically the house fund was created, as we know, to accept monies coming into the Callahan House, and not necessarily just donations. It's also money that we get from private rentals or ticketed programs, whatever it may be. So the fund was created for that purpose, to bring that money in. The transfer, so there's various aspects of this that we were talking about, so remind me if I'm missing something, but the transfer so the Callahan House Fund is basically the Callahan budget. It's not just a fund that is donations. It's all of the money coming into all of our revenue, and also helps to create our expense budget. So it's used for operations of Callahan House, except for salary and staffing. So that comes as a transfer monthly from the city's general fund into the Callahan House Fund to cover that specific expense. So the house fund does not cover salary and staffing. That's provided for from the general fund. Like I said, as a monthly transfer that is counted as revenue to the Callahan House Fund. But basically all of our expenses and revenue come in and out of the Callahan House Fund. So does that make sense? So I think we were
transfer is coming from
in and out of
City operations.
city.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the monthly transfer?
Yeah.
Yes, it's from the city's general fund to cover salary and staffing monthly.
Okay.
So I think we were kind of thinking of it as the house fund as like a donation only account, but really it's just the general
Okay, that's
Callahan House budget that was created because originally the board was responsible for raising funds to cover expenses and salary and things like that, although the city did always have some money given
It's a little
to
different, but that's okay. I think it's a little bit different than what you just said, but that's okay.
what
I
is
think it's
different.
the point. So for the history regarding the house manager,
Mhm.
the board of directors, hired the manager.
Right.
And all of the income would be paid to the house manager, along with the living was
Right.
part of that person's salary. But in 1995, when they decided, okay, the employee, the house manager is going to become an employee of the city. And it was a three-quarter time
Right.
position at the time, and the city would pay that. And still, the city would provide some funds for maintenance and operations of the house.
Yep.
But the fund that was established in 1995, was specifically for the, I'll read it to you, because it is specifically, and that's in the ordinances that I emailed to you and everybody.
Yep.
So you all have those. But it was specifically to be used to receive funds earned by, paid to, donated, or granted to the Callahan House.
Right.
That's the city ordinance. It's O-95-17. Now, in that, that's how expenses were. The Callahan House were in part paid. But the general fund, that's the city, once the city decided that the house manager was an employee, the city paid that directly. But the fund was still meant for earnings, donations.
Yes.
Yeah. But none of that was meant for salary of
Right.
staff.
Which is,
And
Which
so-
is what I was saying is the general
The
fund
general
transfer
fund-
from the city
Transfer.
covers salary.
So the general, in the budget, the general fund transfer from the city that comes in monthly is for salaries.
Yes, and it's
Correct.
considered revenue to the Callahan House Fund.
Okay.
But it is for specifically that purpose monthly.
Right.
Turns around
And
and
only
back
that
out for that
purpose.
purpose.
Yeah.
And it covers salaries entirely.
Yes,
Okay. But then there are other expenses of the house,
yes.
and those are separate line items. But then there are, if salaries are coming in as revenue, then you also have a separate line item for donations or grants or anything like that. And so that line item, that list, is what I asked for. So that's what.
Yeah,
would
and
be
that
able
is
to
available
see.
to the public, and so you're welcome to make a records request to see that at any point if you'd like to. It's all of that is open to the public.
Can you go ahead and either provide us the link for that, or can you go ahead and
The link for
provide
the
us?
records request?
I know how to do records requests, but
Okay.
since this is a specific record regarding just the Callahan House, and you as the Callahan House manager have access to that, I think it's acceptable that you provide that to the board.
I think
Guidance that I received was to.
Well, I
link up to
think the question that I had asked the last time is what is that budget sheet supporting as you guys as the board? What is, like providing information for Ian's contact for the digitized scrapbook? Where is the follow through of why Brittany needs to provide that to the board? That's where I'm coming from is.
Okay. Because in the ordinance, part of that is that the board is to be reviewing financials of the house.
I don't know if
The
that's
ordinance
the
has been
city.
amended since then, in the information that you sent. There's amendments to that.
That is not amended. Reviewing financials is not amended.
Reviewing the city's budget financials?
The Callahan House.
Right, which is a city facility now, like the city
As
manages this, right, so
As always.
the board.
But
I
the
don't
board
think there
is
are any
not
other advisory boards within the city that are
Managing
and
financials.
reviewing financials.
Reviewing, that's what this board is authorized by city to do.
So
And-
reviewing to me is looking at.
And in able
Yeah.
to be able to review that, we need to be able to see it. So.
To what purpose though, Karen?
Again,
that's-
go back to the purpose that I answered last month. It is transparency, it is public record, it is part of this job, the job of this board. But it is also our responsibility to show that indeed any donations are a separate line item, are separately earmarked. That none of that is going to operations or any other expense regarding the house. So I think that is
So that's
important
what
that
you-
we see a line item list so that we can see and be able to show.
So you
any
just wanna see
donor
that there's a
emails.
donated line item in
There's
our
a-
budget.
There is
The
a,
org code
there's
for
got to be a line item that is donations, you know,
Yeah.
it
There
has to do
And there
with,
is.
so
And so you also want answered whether or not those donations are being used specifically or if they're going to the
Are
general.
they paying for the
budget.
lights or, is
we
that what
have
you're
to
saying?
be able to show that indeed donations come in, they go right in here. We have restoration, preservation projects that cost whatever, that's when that's coming out of that. But otherwise, that continues to grow until we're spending it on restorations and preservations. We have to have that proof for us and for the public that, especially when we're getting this donor program up and running, that indeed those donated funds are earmarked and they are not touched except for preservation and restoration.
I don't pretend to remember really well or be as knowledgeable about things as you are, but I do feel like I was probably on the board at that point, but I feel like those funds were actually funds that we could use for things above and beyond for special things we needed.
Yeah.
Like if we needed a new tablecloths or something that wasn't part of the city budget. I feel like those were funds that we had access
Yeah.
to do those kinds of things.
That was my understanding as
Isn't
well.
that part of that PB something fund that is anything
PB
pretty
one
much
forty-five,
under
that's
10,000?
given by the
I
city.
mean, it may have been restructured,
Yeah,
but I just recall that I think that's where that kind of came from. That establishment of keeping that separate and being able to use that for the frivolous things that we might have needed.
But that wouldn't have anything to do with donations. That would have to do with the funds that come from the city based on the things that are under $10,000 that meet.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying back then, as I recall, that was part of what we were doing, was raising funds to do some of those.
Getting donations
Extra
so that you
things.
could do those things.
But it may have been restructured, obviously, since then, is all I'm saying.
Right. I hear you.
So,
so the question is, and your purpose in wanting to see the budget is whether or not the revenue stream of donations is being specifically used only for preservation and restoration, is that correct?
I don't think the donation has been used at all, right? That's just a dollar amount that grows in your budget.
Yeah, I need to get that answer.
'Cause in order to
specifically
use-
be sure.
In order to use the donation money, you have to submit an appropriation.
Correct.
And I don't, since you've been here.
That
we-
makes sense,
we haven't done
because,
one.
yeah, because
That's only
the expense budget, you know, here's certain money that we have earmarked towards certain things.
Yeah, so to use the donation money, we as city people have to ask finance to essentially release the money to us, and we have to tell them why.
Yeah, because that's
Right.
not an expense line item that's available.
Right, because that money is a budget that just grows until we ask for an appropriation to say, hey, we need $500.
Yeah.
To rewrite
Yeah, to
supports.
rewrite. Right.
so somewhere in there, there's a line item that shows an amount that has been donated.
Sure. I mean, I don't even know how to request records, but I would like to learn.
Well, this is
So
something
I think
that
it's something maybe you should do and just see what you can see.
as a citizen, we can all do it.
Yeah,
But like I said, as a board member, as a volunteer,
Yeah,
and a board member and serving, and the authority rests with Brittany as the Callahan House Manager, who is a city employee, and this is something that is part of.
I'd love to learn more
Yes,
about
that part of this
where it
is
says
your-
like and this is for me still being new and missing 3 months for having a baby, but of where as you sign on to be a board member, here's what we are asking of you, or here's what your service is to the city. I don't know if I've seen that, and that's on
So-
me.
If you want to look at the ordinance,
The one that you sent
starts-
Brittany?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sent me that.
So on that ordinance,
it lists just a few things of the
I
board
think
member.
I need to clarify if there have been any further changes to that since the most recent.
Right, exactly, any amendment to that ordinance.
There haven't. And
So
so,
5 what?
so the ordinance is O dash, like a hyphen, 95 dash 17.
Okay.
Now thereafter, and that is the whole ordinance, that is a bill for an ordinance adopting chapter 50, title 2, section 3.04.94 code. And chapter 43, title 4 of the Longmont Municipal Code concerning the Callahan House, the Callahan House manager, and establishing the Callahan House Fund. And it specifically has all of the categories regarding Callahan House established, membership, term of office, powers and duties, annual report, specifically regarding the board. So you've got when it was established, why, you've got the memberships, the terms of office, you've got how they serve, how many years they serve. This is
Staggered
this is the
terms.
document that I emailed.
Yeah.
Everybody has this document. This is the ordinance. So, yeah, I emailed this to you all.
Yep.
July 15th.
July 15th.
Go back and look at your July 15th. The subject is city ordinances. And then that gives you the ordinance that designated the house as a landmark. It gives you the ordinance that provides for the Callahan House Board, the membership, the powers and duties.
So in there it does say that the board members are reviewing the house fund budget?
During the bill here.
Well, everybody's got access to review this.
Okay.
So I think if
Go
we
back
want
and look at
to,
it.
read it and see what questions you have. I think we have some
Specific-
specific questions here
Well, hang on,
that I
let me,
can look further into answering.
well, if I can just go ahead and be specific to answer that. So powers and duties, it is under powers and duties, the function of the Callahan House Board is to advise the city on all matters having to do with the Callahan House. The board shall, it has A through E. A is recommended budget each year for the Callahan House. And B, with appropriate staff member input, recommended scheduled maintenance and refurbishing of the Callahan House. 3C is recommended scheduled fees and dues for groups of using the Callahan House. D is advise in the selection, retention, and employment in terms of the Callahan House manager. And E, hold monthly meetings and receive the reports from the Callahan House manager. Then regarding the annual report, the Callahan House Board shall report annually in writing or more frequently as directed by City Council the short-term and long-term plans for improvements of the house and the usage of the house.
And this is in 1995 before the amendment. So we
Yes.
just want to make
The
sure
only
that
amendment-
information is.
Yes, the only amendment had to do with the, specific to the house manager, which they changed it from, they created the position Callahan House Manager. And then said the manager is responsible for maintenance and management of the house. Manager is not a regular or temporary employee of the city. Is not subject to or entitled to benefits of the personnel rules. The manager shall not sign an employment contract. So that was when they were a contracted person at that time. The amendment changed so that the Callahan House manager became an employee of the city. The rest of the ordinance
Hasn't changed, okay.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to not be transparent, I'm trying to clear lines between what, as board members, our roles are.
Right.
To advise and support and promote this house, and then the line of where Brittany's job to actually manage the budget is. That's what I'm trying to do, and
Right.
I think that there is a line there, and I think that is what we're trying to establish of the wonderful work that you guys have done for years and years and years and years and years, far longer than I've been a part of this, community, and then, where Brittany lies as a city employee and her rules and her obligations.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's no question there. It's just a matter of, we do have a duty to be reviewing and advising.
I don't know if there is, so we'll follow up. I don't know if providing the full city budget or
No, I don't want the full city
Okay,
budget.
excuse me, when I say city budget, I mean
Okay.
Callahan budget because it is a city budget.
Right.
The Callahan
It's in the
is.
city. It's
Part-
within the
It
city.
is a part of the city budget.
Yeah, I think providing you the donation dollars amount is something we can do. I don't know if the whole entire review needs to happen, and I will follow up with our manager.
Just one little thing, in the donations form that we worked on, with you, Brittany, and came up with a really good, explanation to the potential donor of where their funds would go. Whatever we decide as far as, or whatever we figure out is, where the donation money can go, just want to make sure we make it clear in that form. I don't recall if in that form we said,
You're talking about the patrons program? I'm sorry.
no, the donations.
The online donations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something about, seemed like we said something about operations as well as whatever, special preservation and restoration as well as day-to-day operations. I don't remember exactly what we said. It's a minor thing compared to all of this,
Yeah.
but I just thought maybe it should be
I think it
revised.
just says,
Consider.
goes to,
Yeah, looked over.
okay, I'm sorry. You're talking about the donations, and like people are making physical donations to the house.
Yes,
Okay.
which we worked on when you were on the
Gotcha.
board.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was the question then? I was thinking you were talking about like monetary donations made online.
I am. Let's see. Well, I'm talking about
Donations in general.
whatever we say to the public who might donate, your funds are used for something like that.
Got it.
And it might be totally fine the way it is based on what we
Just something to
understand
consider if
the
we-
donations to be, but I don't remember exactly.
Donations to the historic Callahan House and Garden help to restore and preserve this local treasure for generations to come. That's like
That's it.
kind of the
Okay,
general tagline for
Yeah.
donations
okay. We don't say anywhere what it won't go to.
to operating.
But we don't list that.
No.
No,
I don't
and that's
think that would
fine,
be very-
that's fine.
No, that'd be a little-
Somewhere we were discussing that stuff, but maybe we made it clear that or decided that we're not gonna get any more specific than that with them.
Right.
Okay. That was my only question.
No, but that is something to consider, like if it turns out that it does go to operating, that we need to let people know that.
Yeah.
Was that- Yeah.
But it doesn't.
That's, yeah.
It goes
that
into
would
the
be-
donation
Yeah.
line item, and
I would say that.
you have to submit an appropriation for that.
So there's
Well,
hard
there is
sell,
something about, maybe this is still considered preservation. When we talk specifically, maybe it was in donating items or something, I don't
Right.
remember, but
That was part of the discussion.
the funds is the preferred, donation because it goes to, let's say in the garden, it goes to the budget for restoring the garden or something like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to somebody who wants to donate a plant that we don't want
Right.
in there.
Exactly.
So, I don't know what you call that, is that operations or preservation?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Duh. No.
But I think it's just
Yeah, I mean,
Not
'cause,
clear.
like
Almost
technically
everything's
Parks
conservation.
has the budget for the garden, so,
Okay.
Right.
you know, that's
Yeah.
where we are getting into.
Get
But,
rid of
you
the
know, I
grass.
think when we
Yeah.
try
Separating.
to explain that, we may have said something like that just to discourage people from trying to donate plants.
Mhm.
You know, that
Or a bench or
please
whatever.
know that there's a plan for this and the money goes toward things that are appropriate for
Mhm.
the thing. And I don't know how we worded it, so
Yeah.
this might be worth looking at.
Reviewing.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think that's a very solid point, and it
Yeah.
really leads to the overall point of
The big picture.
it is the big picture. It is a hard sell to tell people that they need to give the city some money. They will look at you and say, the city needs to budget properly. The city doesn't need any more money than what they're already taking from taxpayers. So, just hear me out. While there are operations, and yes, that is all city budget, it is so much easier to tell people when they're donating, this is not going to operations, and here's why it's separate.
And that's the point, is that Callahan has its own budget, which is rare within the city.
Mhm.
So, you know, money that we bring
Everybody else is
in
in the
is
general
used
fund.
only for Callahan House. Whereas, like, in recreational programs, that money goes to the city general fund and can be used for other departments. So
Right.
that's where Callahan House is special and
unique.
specific, and money that we bring in goes to Callahan House usage. So I think that is the, you know, the defining feature of our budget,
Right.
is that it's Callahan specific.
But our donor program is specific to restoration and preservation, so that's
And I feel like a lot of what
critical.
is doing to the house is restoration.
Yeah.
Almost everything you're doing is restoration and preservation of the house.
Not really.
Well, it's a big aspect of a lot of money that we spend.
It is.
Is the point.
But
Being
it's
able
gonna
to
be
show
some
that,
maintenance.
being able to show, here's the restoration and preservation that was done, here's what it cost.
Yeah.
And here was the fund that we took that money from.
The revenue source.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is really critical piece, and maybe I am not,
Well, I understand, so you wanna understand like what, you know,
But I
from
do
the
think-
revenue, where that goes into expenses, and like even when I look at the revenue budget and expense budget, I don't see the direct lines of how, you know, this gets funded into this, so I need to get some clarity on my end, cause I can provide you those two pieces of here's the revenue and here's the expense budget, but it doesn't answer the questions of how
Sandra's
revenue
email
goes
says
into
the
expenses.
the expense budget comes from the general fund dollars, not Callahan House fund dollars.
Okay.
so that's your expense budget.
Which are all of the operating costs, which you are.
Which is operating costs,
Yeah.
right? But when you're talking about, okay, so what portion of the Callahan House Fund are the donations? I mean, just now, I mean, you said, and this is simple, you just said, okay, we got $117 in donations. What was the number before? And then show where your 117 recent donation was. Now let's see where we're at. It's really important
So
to
you just
show
want to see
the donation.
A line
donation fund
Yes.
growth in general.
Line item very specific to donations.
Okay.
We need to be able to provide that to our donors. There will be some that will ask for it.
So,
And believe me or not, I mean, another 501c3 that I helped to establish, they
And
wanted
you're
to
not a
see.
501c3.
I know we're not, but they wanted to be very clear and see. Let's look at your line items.
And it might
Let's look at your
especially
budget.
be important with the patron program.
That's my
Yeah.
point.
That's where it's
Patron
going, that's where
program
we're
is-
leading.
Because that's where we're going with this, and it's gonna be individuals and
And
businesses.
corporations, yeah.
You're going to have that interest, whether you think it or not, you will.
okay.
It's coming. So I'm just trying to make sure we are ready, that we
So
are.
we
that's
can,
the-
so you're wanting to see the donations specifically and how that account, the growth of that account over time.
Yes.
We'll double check, but I think we can probably include that information in the manager's report, and then get clarification on all these other questions that we have come up with.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we're digging in the weeds. It's interesting. Okay, any other questions on any of that? Okay, we're gonna look at future agenda item, which I think is pretty much gonna stay where they are.
Just leave them in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah, the next, it's for next month's
Is-
agenda, the club
Club
survey
survey.
call letter will
Right.
be in the new business.
I have a couple of announcements slash questions about that. Just in general, the future restoration and preservation, the UV film was installed on the windows yesterday.
oh, great.
So an update about that. So that's done for now. If we want to
Great.
do any more moving forward, we can. Basically, everything was done other than like this back sort of wing of the house and the upper floor on this side. So all of the south side was done. This window, all of the doors,
That gets all
all exterior
the UV.
doors.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically. So just this kind of back section of the porch, upstairs and downstairs, the kitchenette and the kitchen,
west.
bathroom not done, but all of the large windows, both of the stained glass.
Okay,
So
excellent.
yeah,
Was done
Good.
yesterday.
yeah.
It's done.
Sweet.
Nothing in the
Nice.
auto house. So like I said, we can always do more in future, but the important pieces have been done. So, and potentially the only pieces that need done, just based on southern exposure and all that. So,
That's it.
so that'll go on the living document of restoration and preservation that's having been done this year, and that's like a lifetime
Oh, that's
thing.
long.
You don't need to,
That's
redo
great.
that every however often. So that's good. And then just a quick question, and I can dig more into this, but I just thought about it the other day. Does anybody know where the DVDs came from that are, because those are low also? I didn't know if like Longmont Public Media made those, or does anybody happen to know?
I think it's on the DVD.
Just to see if we can get more.
Is it on these little
It
labels?
has a
or-
Same
little
as
label,
the-
it has a little label on the
Yeah.
DVD.
The DVDs of the
So
Callahan
The
House
Callahan
Board.
yeah, the like
history thing.
existing documentary, and then I guess the other question is, do we want to continue to sell those? I would think yes, but depending on
Yeah, we
the
might as
new
well if we have
video.
them. Somebody wants to buy one.
Well, no, I just
Yeah.
mean, I guess, do we want to continue to order them?
Oh, I
and-
see.
And sell
Or shall
them
we?
moving forward.
Having a new
These
one.
are
Pretty.
Let's.
Yeah, I
wait and
think
see
in
what
general,
happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the idea of, DVD in general is maybe not,
Like I could play one at my house.
yeah.
Oh.
Don't
I'm
you play on
old.
a Blu-ray
I've got a-
player?
I've
Or
got
what do you have?
a
Just
CD
streaming
a
straight
DVD
up.
player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the question is, do we want to
Oh,
order more of those or not? I think we have a handful left. So,
I think we hold off for now. Let's.
Yeah, I'd say hold off.
okay.
I mean, the whole purpose of having a new video done
Yeah.
is to replace that one.
Correct.
Well, the idea wasn't to replace it. And this, this video goes less into like some of the historical deep dive and stuff. The idea was to have them be
Which is
complementary with one
nice.
another. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, just in general, like selling DVDs or.
How much do they cost, just out of curiosity to order?
Oh, that we charge for them?
Well, to order.
That's what I don't know. Because
Because I wonder if that
I
might
see,
be
yeah.
something that we give to our patrons as,
That's a good idea.
Well,
Or
but like,
a
since it's-
token.
Yeah.
how are they gonna play it? I mean,
Some
how are they
people
gonna?
can.
Well,
That
that's
might be an
the
outlier.
point.
That's, I mean, you have to go down and buy a DVD player these days. They're not
If you bought
expensive.
Blu-ray players at least? I don't know, I saw the
Can't you
VCR,
just
so I'm
put
not
on your
good.
laptop?
If you have a DVD player.
Yeah, like my laptop doesn't have a DVD.
See, mine does, and everybody
That's a good
has
point.
it.
It's kind of
That's right.
It's like
Everyone
a
wants
thing.
to-
Yeah, it's
So-
kind of a dinosaur thing.
The video is accessible on the city's website on
Right.
the Callahan House page.
Yeah,
So there's really no.
Yeah,
I
place
would-
for
I
it.
would-
We're not gonna sell them.
Okay, okay, when they're gone, they're gone.
that's why they're
Yeah.
sitting there now.
Right,
Okay,
that's why nobody's buying them. I'm keeping mine.
yeah, yeah, okay.
When is the patrons program gonna roll
Well, hopefully we'll be able to share more information next month. After we have our
out?
committee
Yeah, but
meeting.
just sort of vaguely looking at ahead, because I'm wondering what can you give them to hold physically in
Right.
hand? Do we have enough of those prints? Let's say, I'm picturing the black and white one
Book.
with the Venus in front of the house. Yeah, just something.
I mean,
I mean, we can have those made, but the point is
You have to be careful about,
patrons of the membership.
yes, because when donors, for it to be tax deductible, and they have to speak with their tax advisor about that, they can't receive any goods or services
Right.
in exchange for those funds.
That's right.
So it's really important
In
that
order
we
for
keep that
tax
line
deductible.
absolutely very clear,
Uh-huh.
that we cannot gift them something for their funding.
Yeah, the idea is that they get signed up for the constant contact,
Yeah.
and then we maybe have like an annual event. But
Yeah.
it's more of a donation program rather than a membership program
Yes.
where they're receiving perks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for any goods
Yeah.
or services.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, makes sense.
So yeah, I mean, we could, I don't know, maybe potentially the annual event have like a raffle giveaway or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where they,
Something very simple.
I don't know.
Simple,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
Very
have the opportunity to
expensive,
keep
very
saying it's
minimal.
not
Yes, we have to be very careful about
included
that.
in their
Okay.
as transaction for their donation.
Okay, I think we've reached the end of our opportunity to yak. Okay, I will entertain it.
I
The
moved
amendment
adjourn.
to adjourn.
All right, it is 10:47. I second that
Oh, okay.
motion.
Candy and Karen.